Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to an exciting SME Talent Week. Week-long virtual learning and sharing platform to help you with your talent challenges and crack the talent code to achieve substantial growth. I'm Bhumika, your host for this session, and it gives me immense pleasure to begin with the first webinar with Mr. Bharat Jayaprakash on the power of technology in finding the right candidate for the right job, powered by Indeed, the world's largest job search engine. I will set the context before we move on to the session. Set for success is an endeavor of each organization and aspiration of each candidate. But what that brings a gap in a candidate's understanding of the organization and vice versa. Today we'll hear an intriguing session on how can organizations crack the code of getting the right talent for the right job. Key pointers of the session will include insight into a tech-savvy candidate's behavior, understand candidates' expectations and approaches of meeting those, brand and effective communication in attracting the right talent. Take the opportunity to welcome the speaker for the session, Mr. Bharat Jayaprakash, Senior Director at Indeed.com and Head Insight Sales at Indeed India. Bharat is a seasoned leader with over 20 years of work experience. He handles diverse portfolios including channel management, merger acquisition, fintech and business strategy. He specializes in technology, sales and business development and has worked across different industries including education, IT training, and healthcare. It is to have you with us, Bharat, and thank you for taking out time to share your views on the SME Talent Week. Take up as many questions as possible at the end of the session. You can also use hashtag SME Talent on social platforms to share your learnings. Without any further delay, I'm going to hand over the microphone to Bharat. Over to you, Bharat.
Thanks, Bhumika. My name is Bharat, and I'm the Senior Director here at Indeed India. It's my absolute pleasure to conduct this session today. As you all know, technology has evolved over a period of time. I remember when I started my career 20 years ago, there was no internet. And 2 years later, we got internet, and at such low speeds that we couldn't imagine connecting to different cities or different parts of the world for that matter. But technology today has evolved so much that you can find jobs at your fingertips, and that's exactly what we're going to talk about today in terms of how technology has evolved in general and how it is impacting for the right candidate for the right job. Our purpose every day is to help people get jobs. For us, it is really a partnership between us and all our customers and the job seekers that we work with to ensure the employers find the right people for jobs. Job seekers are successful in finding the jobs they're looking for. Taking these decisions today, we turn to search, right from booking holidays to decide where our meal will come from, to choosing our life partners. If you look at the top 100 sites in India today, you'll find that there are many search engines. And the search ecosystem is has changed dramatically over the last decade. There are search engines like Google, Yahoo, but increasingly there are specialty search engines like Indeed for Jobs, or Make My Trip for travel, Magic Bricks for real estate. And there are search like destinations. For instance, people go to Amazon, Carvana, or Flipkart to look for a product instead of a search engine. These sites are increasingly purpose-built and are changing the way people look for things. They're a portal for information about a product or a service, changing the way people search for information online today. And the use search engine is changing already. Google is the place where most searches begin. But how people use Google to get information beyond has evolved. Searches for Mumbai hotel have decreased by 43% in the last 10 years. Search for Make My Trip has increased by 3%. This isn't because fewer people are coming to Mumbai, but people are searching using purpose-built sites like Make My Trip. For types of searches, a specialized search engine is where people turn to. People use devices is also changing dramatically. There are two images from concerts, one in the 1990s and the other much more recently. On the left, people are out enjoying themselves, and on the right, they are enjoying themselves with their device. Increasingly, that people experience life through the device. Devices are with them at all times and keep them connected to the rest of the world. Look at website traffic and then the way people access information. It's clear how these different devices play together during the day. For depending on the way people now look for information and device in their life is incredibly important. As people are commuting to work, they're using their mobile to access information. Today, the PC still dominates. At this time, the desktops, the laptops are primary way for people to get information. Now, tablets are the number one way people are accessing information. People move device to device to device as the day progresses. It's becoming more and more mobile. 50% of Indeed's job search traffic in India comes directly from devices, and that's exactly what I was trying to say. That technology is changing to for people to even find jobs. That's the background on search and what we are seeing. Now let's look at job search specifically and the impact that it is having on the recruiting industry. The job boards that Indeed aggregates has grown by 49% over 4 years alone, while the number of people searching for jobs online has grown 12%. The choices for job seekers today increase for one site where all the jobs are available in a single search. Literally hundreds of thousands of places online that have unique jobs. There are career sites, agencies, more than 9,000 job board sites around the world. There are millions of small businesses that recruit in many different ways. When it comes to searching for your next career opportunity, people easily turn to Indeed. Indeed puts together jobs from career sites, boards, agencies, and small businesses so that candidates can find all jobs that are relevant to them in a single search. Pay-per-click model, employers are only charged when job seekers click on the job. Employers get the most out of job search. About how the power of technology takes over from here. Great candidates have great choices. Job is very easy. Look for engineering jobs, it would be easy because indeed over 10,191 engineering jobs in Mumbai, more than 18,000 software developer jobs in Bangalore, and more than 25,000 sales jobs in Delhi NCR area. Typically, candidates on Indeed 33 jobs never clicks on 99% of jobs. So how does technology play a big role here? Think your jobs. Which job would be a great candidate choose, or which job would a great candidate choose? Let's look at a couple of potential examples. That will give you a fair idea. Nobody wouldn't choose this real job on Indeed. This for PhD tech. Maybe a great job with a great company. Data shows there are very few people who come to Indeed or any other search engine search for jobs in PhD tech. A title like this impacts their ability to be one of the top jobs shown to the type of candidates that you're looking for. Use a job title that search for. Wouldn't like this one either. You can all of the fields they need to fill out. And if you look carefully at the bottom, this page is step 1 of 8 for a candidate to apply. Every field of the 8 pages of screens of questions are required. This is a fantastic company that a lot of people want to work for. That's well reviewed by candidates. But 100th page of results, we know from our research that most candidates are not going to go through hundreds of pages of jobs before finding one to apply to. And certainly, for the best candidates, that's the case. Career Center is not optimized for mobile and therefore not getting too many applicants from a mobile device. How do smart companies navigate search and mobile to attract the right candidates? Every search starts with 2 words. It's and we can get a list of jobs that are probably the best suited candidate. Tell us what, where, and we use the data as well as a lot of other signals and information to match the job seeker to the best jobs. Look carefully at the content of the job. The job title is incredibly important. The location is incredibly important too. Content in the job description is used to assess what job it is and which candidate to match it against. Search is simple. You enter type of job and location. A list of jobs that are best suited come back as search results. A job seeker can click on one of the results, view on a site or a company career site, can apply. There are 3 key conversion events that every organization needs to optimize search. Ensure that your jobs match the query, that the right job seekers search your jobs, and that they are returned in search results when looking for the job. One is looking for sales in Mumbai. You want to be one of those top sales jobs that come up. You want to ensure that the right candidates see your job and the right snippets, reviews, information, give it as big a chance as possible for them to pick up and look at your job. Then candidates, you want to make sure they click on job and you get as many of those to complete the process and come through. You have a choice of who you want to hire and to next. So what makes some companies great at search? Well, there are 5 things we're going to talk to that provide provide a clear path to be successful with search. One, great companies master the science and the art of great job content. By content, we mean the job title, the job description, the content on the career page, and everything around it. When we look at a slide, looking at the slide, you'll figure out how tweaking a little bit the job content can bring out dramatic results. Smartest clients A/B test all of the content to see what performs best. Here are some results from a real test. Change the title of a job to something more user-friendly. In this case, the company was hiring salespeople. The job title was account manager, but weren't getting enough applicants with sales experience. After learning more about how the role was sales-focused, I recommended changing the job title to include more sales-related keywords. I was adamant about keeping the title as account manager, but we convinced them to test a modification to try to improve results. We tried switching to account manager / sales representative, where it may not be the best title because it's technically two titles, but we saw a huge improvement. The impressions or the number of times the job was seen went down, but the text went up, meaning the right people are seeing and engaging with the job. Patients doubled, the conversion increased 43%. The science. Let's talk a little bit about art. Here's an example from Airbnb. Subscription is definitely not the right for everyone, but for Airbnb, it's exactly right. Gives a sense of what's special about the organization. It attracts a special candidate, the right candidate they're looking to hire for their environment and culture. Organizations today use job descriptions as a procedural necessity as opposed to a marketing document. Job description may be the best opportunity for most organizations. Chance to engage, really tell a story, and draw people in. It should be a routine, basic formulaic document that simply lists skills, requirements, and qualifications. Companies we talk to get the application processes filter out best skills. This chart shows how more online questions result in less applications. And dropouts increases dramatically if you have more than 40 or more screener questions. As less screener questions as possible and as precise, that's the way to reach out to the right candidate. Point number 3, smart organizations grow, manage their employer brand online. The candidates don't blindly apply to jobs. Great recruitment, recruiting brands, get more applicants, and more importantly, the right applicants. Your brand determines your candidates. 83% of people say that reviews in particular impact whereby, and 46% say company reputation has a big impact on the decision to accept a job. At Indeed, we also see a 5% increase in apply rate when employer reviews are available for the company, regardless of what those reviews may say. Same way that TripAdvisor has changed the way people pick hotels and vacation destinations, employer reviews are having a dramatic impact on the people pick their employers. There are more reviews, elevate your employer brand. And there are more reviews on Indeed than any other platform in the world, and there's a real impact on seekers. You can write here in every search result that reviews we show have the rating of an employer with the number of reviews, making it really easy for job seekers to find that information. It's a big opportunity for employers. Point 4, we find that the smartest companies invest to reach the right candidate. Now, indeed, there are 3 ways you can reach more than 100 million job seekers worldwide. Common is organic jobs. If your jobs are going to list them in an organic result, just like any search engine would do automatically. It's important to note that for us, that the time the job has been unfilled is really important thing. So for a few days, organic jobs will to be on top of the results, but over a period of time, they will go down. This is a very prominent company that we talked about in organic results, was on page 100 of the results and unlikely to be seen by the top candidates. A lot of people use sponsored jobs or become featured employers to reach candidates and be visible as one of those first jobs that you want to best candidates for jobs. You at the top lets you target the right candidates to fill jobs. We find our sponsored job customers receive 5 times more clicks and applications and access to the best candidates. Such a recruiting tactics to maximize quality and minimize cost. Most people do today, and if you open a position, you have a good flow of active candidates from organic flow. Fill as many positions as you can that free traffic. If you write candidates and you more volume, then invest in sponsored jobs. A budget based on your conversion rates, the number of candidates required, a great way to fill a good portion of your positions at the lowest possible cost of hire. There is going to be a set of really tough jobs to fill, and that might be 10% of your roles or 20% of your roles. And what you do is look at if there is insufficient pipeline of 14 days, and then at that point authorize and begin an outbound recruiting. We've had 20% of the positions that will often be needed. So for that, you can do an expensive and a hard work of getting on the phone. For more people, we say focus outbound efforts on the job that are likely to be chronically left unfilled. So the rule, the smartest organizations use the data that you have to dramatically improve performance. Jobs on Indeed, you can utilize your job analytics report to see the top key searches and the top job titles, so the job seekers are finding your jobs through. You see what jobs are receiving the most clicks. Keyword searches are not along the lines of the type of candidate you're looking for. You can adjust your descriptions and titles. This report will give you an insight to which job should be elevated in search through sponsorship. Search insights, you can see the competitive ranking of companies, top producing keywords. You can use this tool to evaluate how you compare to the competition. Another tool that you can use is Google Trends. It's very similar to Indeed Trends in that shows you what keywords people are searching for on Google. You necessarily see the decline on this slide for user experience designer, but what you see is a takeoff for UX designer the past couple of years. So your job titles and descriptions use the terms that people search for. Then the smartest companies track. For most of our customers is source of hire. Many of our clients automatically track source of hire, cost of hire, time to hire, working with data from Indeed, but also from their applicant tracking system, so that they can compare Indeed search to all the other sources. So those are top 5 tips that make companies great at search. To summarize, master the science and art of job content, streamline your application process, grow your employer brand, invest to reach right candidates, use data to improve performance. That we conclude the webinar. Thank you very much for your time. If you have any questions, happy to take.
Thank you for enlightening us all on the advent and evolution of technology and search engines to solve our talent challenges. It was an enjoyable session indeed. Just now move on to the questions we have received from our listeners. Over to you, Deepak.
Thank you, Vika, so much, and thank you, Bharat, for taking us through that session. I think we have a lot of questions still unanswered, so I think a lot of people still have a few questions to ask us, and that's actually great that people are pinging and asking questions. The first question I have for you, Bharat, is a question from, I don't see the name, but a question basically saying, how do employers build brands online? You spoke about the importance of building a brand and also about, using technology for companies to build their brands. So from a technology perspective, while I think everybody knows how to build a brand in the offline, spending a lot of money, but is something that Indeed can specifically offer in terms of new age technology and new tools that employers can use to build their brand?
Thank you very much for the question. So yes, indeed we do have tools that will help you. We can actually guide you through how to build an employer brand. But how do you do that? We do have a product that we recommend to most of our customers. It's called Featured Employer. And once you're a featured employer, you have to claim a company page. This company page is where you can go and build your brand. Include a logo. Your employees can go write reviews about the company. You can post pictures, videos, which will expose culture about your company to job seekers. And all jobs that, consolidated view to all the jobs will be available on this company page. So it's a beautiful way for, many of our, clients across the world. This company page has helped them build the brand. What it also does is our research shows that, you're building a good employer brand, and if you're maintaining a company page through Featured Employer, you get 15x more applications than posting jobs or even with organic flow.
Thank you very much, Bharat. The next question that we have from Bhavna Garg is basically saying that, though we spoke about technology helping people, what does Indeed do in terms of helping companies not just hire in India, but are you also able to help people leveraging technology to hire people from, say, for example, in the US or maybe in the UK? So can employers sitting in India who have needs in any part of the globe come to us and use technology to hire these candidates?
Yeah, absolutely. We have more than 100 million job seekers who visit our platform every month across the world. We are one in US. We are number 1 in UK. From a traffic perspective, we are number 2 in India. We are number 1 or number 2 in most of the top developed nations in the world. We have more than 800,000 small businesses who have posted jobs on Indeed. We have 100,000 staffing agencies who have posted jobs on Indeed. We have 9,000 job boards from where we aggregate jobs onto our platform. So yes, absolutely. I mean, Indeed is a number one choice for many job seekers in US.
Great. Thank you so much for that, Bharat. The question I have from you, is from Manjeet, and this is more of a cultural question to you, Bharat. When it comes to online job boards, candidates seldom receive any feedback for why their application was rejected. Sometimes don't even receive a 1 or 2 line email. So candidates question the process because of what goes on in the candidate's mind. Is there something employers should keep in mind when they're using technology? Because I think with technology advancing so fast, it sometimes might take away from the personal touch that people are used to. Either if it's speaking on a phone call. So are there any tips that you have for companies?
Things that help a lot of employers who are sponsoring jobs on Indeed is using questions effectively. What it does is, it helps the candidate to be honest whether qualified enough to apply for a job. It gives a flexibility for the employers to, pose appropriate screener questions. If they're disqualified, the candidate knows they're disqualified because, the answer is no to many of those screener questions. And this is something that we have enhanced on Indeed as well in the last couple of months. The whole idea here is to, make job seekers comfortable as well as employers comfortable so that they can get relevant traffic coming their way.
Okay, we still have a lot of questions coming in. The next one is, how is the behavior of tech-savvy candidates different from those who used offline channels earlier? Do they have any preferences, priorities when they search for a job? This is a question from Megha.
Little data points here to view today how technology is being effectively used by job seekers. A survey that we did in US as well as in India with sample size of around 10 to 11,000 job seekers, it shows that almost 90% of the job seekers are active job seekers. Which means there are so many out there who are actively looking for jobs. In the past, when offline way of doing things was more active, we could really differentiate between active candidates and the passive candidates. Today, with technology and the advancement in technologies, with so many different opportunities available for job seekers to apply for a job, they're always looking out for a new job. And it says 90% plus job seekers are actively looking for jobs.
Right. We have a follow-up question for an answer you had given us a little earlier. This is a follow-up question from Sureka. A very interesting question. How much do an employer or a company need to invest to become a featured employer?
Well, there's no one particular number that I can quote here, but a lot of variables go into this in terms of. So let me ask some questions to you. I'm happy to reach out to you on an email and have a detailed discussion here on this. But it depends on number of jobs, number of candidates you're looking for, whether you're looking for these jobs to be filled up every month, or is it just a one-time requirement that you have? So a lot of those factors play an important role for me to come and tell you how much it will cost you if you want to become a featured employer.
So is there a cost associated with having a company page on Indeed?
No, it's absolutely free, unlike a lot of other, or for that matter, even social media, social networking sites who charge you for maintaining a company page. Maintaining a company page today, even if you go and post organic jobs, it's absolutely free of cost.
Great. Okay, but we could take a few more questions. I see a lot of people want to ask you. Should we maybe a couple of more questions? Okay, the last one for you. This is from Rinki Gulati. Are there any thoughts that you have in terms of gaps between what a candidate expects and what the employer value proposition is in this online recruitment space. Is there something employers can do better, be it job descriptions, titles, set expectations right?
Ricky, that's a great question. Thank you very much for asking that, because personally I believe technology at times, available everybody means choice for choices as well. and I took you through one of the slides. It's very important for employers to be very honest in terms of what kind of content they put on job description. Because today, if I put a job posting which says and a very, very generic job description, everybody who's an engineer would apply for a job. Right? So if you make the job title more specific, action specifics in the job description, potentially the chances of the right candidate applying go significantly. So it's very important that you mention the right credentials that you're looking for in a candidate in the job description as well as the job title.
Great, so much, Bharat, for taking all those questions. To out there, in case you have any more questions, please feel free to direct them via my email ID at bjoseph@indeed.com. Thank you. Bhumika, over to you.
Thank you, Deepak, and thank you, Bharat. We are at the end of the question and answer, and this also brings us to the closure of today's session. On behalf of People Matters and the viewers, I would like to thank Bharat for the great insights shared in this session today. I would like to thank the viewers for joining in today for a wonderful session. I'm sure you would have taken away some key learnings from the session. Feel free to write into us about what you thought and what your key learnings were. You can also use hashtag SME Talent on social media to share your learning. Stay tuned to www.smetalentweek.com for many more unique sessions. And do join us tomorrow for a session on talent planning and recruitment, hiring as you grow, by Professor Amit Choradia at 11 a.m. Thanks again, everybody, and have a great evening.